When I gave birth to these kids, I stopped working.
In 2016, Halima Nabukya, a resident of Nandala Zone, Nakaloke Ward in Mbale City, was blessed with twin girls who she gave birth at Kibuli Hospital in Kampala. But one of the girls turned to have a neuro problem.
I'm a mother of twins. This one is a twin. I gave birth to these kids in 2016.
Nabukya says that the medical condition of her daughter started as meningitis, which later turned into hydrocephalus, a medical condition characterized by excess fluid build-up in fluid containing cavities of the brain, which results in developmental, physical, and intellectual impairments.
Support was not all that good, and yet she needed more. But I thank God, like people have been around me, they've been supportive. She had a wound which took her like 4 years. We tried to find a way out, and then we ended up in Kiwa Hospital.
6 weeks later, Nabukya and her daughter Nakato were referred to Kiwa Children's Hospital, where she has been managed since then. To her child's medical condition has improved despite the big size of the head, and that at 6 years, Nakato is unable to sit on her own.
Then we came to Kiwa when she was 6 weeks. We started treatment. And when we started treatment and they did the operation after the 6 weeks, they did operation. After the operation, it was giving it a way where water can go through the whole body. But it failed, and afterwards, they had to put in a shunt. But before putting in a shunt, she had a wound on the top of the head, where they could not just do the operation there and then. We had to wait. That's why the head came to be as big as this.
This medical condition that Nakato was born with never left her mother the same from the time she gave birth to date. She notes that she had to abandon her job to take care of her child, which has made her a strong mother despite the statements that are made in community against the condition of her child.
Even if she cannot sit on her own, she's happy. As a mother, I've managed and I've fought so hard to see that she's given the best I can.
Nabukya and her child are among the hundreds and thousands of patients with a medical condition that the Kiwa Children's Hospital handles. During this year's annual brain surgery run on Saturday, the executive director of the hospital, Tim Erickson, said they operate at least 7 children with this kind of condition every day.
A newborn baby gets an early infection that passes to the brain, and then it can create an imbalance of the fluid in the brain. That's called post-infectious hydrocephalus, meaning after birth, they develop hydrocephalus. So there's multiple causes. It's still being understood. One of them being low folic acid or a deficiency. That's connected to spina bifida, where the spinal column does not close. That's one of the conditions that is directly connected to folic acid deficiency.
He says, in partnership with many organizations and individuals, the hospital has been able to save thousands of lives of children who would otherwise die because of lack of funds for surgery.
Just to leave the country and have one of these operations, it would be over 100 million shillings. So for us to be able to do it here for 6.2 million, that's about 1/20th of the cost or 1/30th of the cost out. That still requires a lot of partners to raise money to help these children.
The Kiwa Hospital Medical Director, Dr. Emmanuel said the hospital took a decision to have every child brought at the hospital with a neuro challenge receive treatment regardless of their background.
Our leadership took a bold decision in April and decided that every surgery at Kiwa will be sponsored. That meant that every child who comes to our doors will receive surgery regardless of the fact if they can pay for it or not. No child will be turned away.
Chua Children's Hospital has managed to collect over 160 million shillings from the proceedings of the marathon, and management anticipates over shillings 500 million in next year's run, which money helps in the operation of the children with the brain and neural condition. Each surgery costs 6.2 million shillings.
UPDF, we contributed because we are people's army, and we make sure that where there is a problem, we also participate in solving that problem.
We think that as part of the community, we need to support causes that are there meant to help the people who cannot, who are helpless.
This marathon is geared towards having surgery for the children with the hydrocephalus situation or condition, whereby the parents cannot afford. The surgery alone takes 6.5 million, and not everybody can afford that.
As people who work in one of the companies serving in this government of Uganda, that's Umeme, we have been part of the Chua surgery run because we work in the community and the community is part of us.
Chirinya Ayub, Ibrahim Natiti, City Post TV.